Hello, my name is Sohail Shakeri, and it's an honor to be presenting to you today. I'm going to be speaking to you about consciousness in the poetry of Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi. The poetry of Rumi, it has widely become known here in the West. And in the 21st century, his poetry has become the most widely sold poetry of any poet. The UN recognized the year 2007 as the year of Rumi, which was the 800th anniversary of his birth. So Rumi was a 13th century mystic who was originally from the Persian Empire in what is the modern day city of Balkh. And he emigrated from there to the city of Konya. And he grew up immersed in the Sufi mystic teachings, which is Sufi mysticism, essentially the esoteric aspect of all religious teachings. It's most prominently found within the Islamic tradition. However, it's not relegated to that particular tradition. And this is something that's not very well known, but it's an important fact to put Rumi in the greater context of mysticism, world mysticism as a whole. His poetry transcended traditional religion once he met the elusive Persian mystic Shams of Tabriz when he was approximately 37 years of age. Upon the inspiration that he received from his guru teacher Shams, he posited that human beings are the latent source of infinite consciousness, aka God or truth. And so for Rumi, the experience of consciousness is synonymous with the experience of God. So the expanded consciousness within the human being is the unveiling of God within the human being. And for Rumi, this is discovered through the vibrational frequency of love that is found in the heart chakra. Okay, and this love emanates from romantic relationships, from love of a near and dear family member, a best friend, from a pet, from a vocation, from love of nature. It can emanate from anything that really generates that expanded feeling within our heart. All right, so a little bit about myself. So I'm a Harvard author. I've written a book that was published by Universal Publishers called How Did We Get Here? About how humanity has abused philosophy and religion in order to bring us to the point of dualistic antagonism and tension with our environment and with one another. And I've also taught humanities, philosophy, and religion at both the college and university level. And I'm honored to be teaching the mystical path of Rumi here at CIHS. And as part of my personal journey, I've also been a practicing Sufi mystic in the tradition of Rumi himself for the last 18 years. And so an important teaching of Rumi is that in order for us to expand our consciousness and to really tap into the depth of consciousness within our being, we must experience it rather than simply learning about it. And so we're going to take a few seconds here, maybe about 30 to 45 seconds, for us to connect deep in our hearts, to feel that sense of love, whether it emanates from a best friend, a lover, a family member, or a teacher, and to let that feeling penetrate our being. If thoughts arise in our heads, for us to soak those thoughts into the depths of our hearts and let that feeling of love permeate our entire body. So let's go ahead and tap into this infinite feeling of love within our hearts for the next 30 seconds. Okay, and so for Rumi, meditation is a portal to consciousness. And this was an important aspect of his own journey into expanded consciousness, was the practice of meditation, was reflection, prayer, the study of sacred texts, journaling, and a conscious experience of life. All right. The relationship between consciousness and Rumi and AI, along with contemporary neuroscience, is that Rumi recognizes the heart as the center of the human being rather than the neocortex cerebrum, which is commonly venerated in modern day academia. So for Rumi, the heart is gold, the heart is the main authority, and the intellect can serve as a tool to bring the guidance of the heart to life if it ultimately wants to serve the human being. If the mind does its own thing, independent of the guidance of the heart, then it's not serving the human being, or all human beings in the work of Rumi. Right? And his poetry confirms the findings of Bandyopadhyay, Hameroff, and Penrose in that he recognizes that human beings are more than just computational intelligence, as artificial intelligence posits, and it recognizes a depth of meaning and awareness which has been discovered through microtubules and the information that is passed through those microtubules. So Rumi's work was a precursor to these findings of modern science and neuroscience that we are uncovering today. The way that Rumi's poetry evokes this expansion of consciousness is by, number one, purifying the heart, as I had mentioned, and through that experiencing an expansion of consciousness within the human being, and then through that expansion of consciousness, having an encounter with Shams, who was his main guru teacher, that created a quantum leap within his being. And so from that quantum leap, the poetry, the ecstatic and didactic poetry was created and emanated. And the way that that poetry was able to expand consciousness within other human beings was through the use of stories, symbols, and melodic rhythms. And so the stories tap into the unconscious, as Joseph Campbell and Carl Jung noted, through those archetypal energies that they connect with, the melodic rhythms connected to the musicality within the being of humans, which connects with the fact that we love music in the depths of our being, and so there was a musicality to his work. The use of symbols was another way that he was able to tap into that archetypal energy and really evoke the feeling qualities that emanated from these symbols to tap into the depths of the human being and connect to the heart center and go beyond the mind so that consciousness could expand and the sense of love and compassion could expand within human beings all throughout the world. I thank you very much for your time and attention, and it's been an honor to present for you today.